guys, Paul the DIY guy here. Now when it comes to D&D gear, there's only a couple of things that you can need, and I have already made myself a dice bag. I'll put a link to that in the doobly-doo. And a long time ago, I made myself a dice tower. That link will also be in the doobly-doo. But there was one feature that it just didn't have. It wasn't really portable. So today, I'm going to show you how to make your very own collapsible dice tower. Check it out.
You're going to need the following: a sheet of foam core, the pattern, link will be in the doobly-doo, a rabbit cutter, I'll also put a link to the doobly-doo where you can buy one, some white glue, sewing pins, an X-Acto and utility knife, a straight edge, some painter's tape, and some soft fabric for the tray. First, using the pattern, cut out all the pieces with the utility knife. Just start with the outlines first, we'll do the slots in a bit. Next, cut out your liner piece. I pinned my paper onto the fabric to make it a bit easier to cut out. Then, using your X-Acto knife, carefully cut the slots out of your foam core. To do this, I lined up the pattern with my piece, and then stuck it in place with some painter's tape. Now, I use this kind of tape because it won't accidentally rip the paper off the pieces when you take it off. Take your time to get these as exact as possible. Use many shallow cuts instead of trying to cut out the whole piece at once. Once the slots are cut, you'll need to use the rabbit cutter to cut all of the notches out. Use the pattern for guidance on which pieces need which edges cut. Also, be very careful during this step, as some of the slots are very close to the notches, especially on the front and back of the tower. Once all the notches are cut, it is time to assemble the tower. Lay out your pieces as shown, especially when it comes to the position of all the slots. Glue one side of the back of the tower and pin it to the side piece. Next, insert the large ramp piece into the angled slot. Then, glue and pin the second side piece into place, making sure that the slot of the tray lines up with the angled tab in the side piece. Also, be sure not to put this piece on backwards like I initially did here, as you can see some glue on the wrong side of the piece. Next, put the remaining two ramps into the slots of the back piece. No glue needed, they should just stay in place on their own. Now, this next step is a bit tricky. You need to glue and pin the front piece in place, but you also need to make sure that the tabs of the ramps line up with the slots in the front piece. Once it all lines up, you should be able to squeeze it together and pin it all in place. Next, you need to pin and glue the top piece in place. This will go on the side that does not have the ramp. Well, it does, but it's above the lower ramp. And finally, for the tower, we need to pin and glue the bottom piece into place. And that is the tower completed. Fortunately, the tray is much simpler to assemble. Pin and glue a side piece to the bottom piece. Then, making sure the plus side shaped slots are on the same side, glue and pin the other side piece into place. Next, the end piece needs to be pinned and glued onto the side furthest away from the plus-shaped holes. Finally, for the tray, you need to put some glue down as evenly as possible, and then carefully place your liner fabric face up on top of it. Smooth it out as best you can. Then, let everything dry. I recommend letting it sit overnight for the best results. Now, after the glue is dried, you need to remove all the sewing pins. And once those are out, you can start applying the stickers. Now, when placing the stickers on the side of the tray, be sure to line up the plus sign-shaped holes. The rest, you should just make sure they're all the right side up. Now at this point, you should have a tower unit, a tray unit, two key pieces, and a backplate. There are two different ways to assemble the tower from this point, either upright or collapsed. To assemble the tower collapsed, first insert the tower, front side down, inside the tray. Slide a key piece vertically through the plus sign hole, and then through the slot on the side of the tower. Repeat this for the other side. Lastly, push the tower cover piece into the open area. Now this should be a press fit, which is why you'll notice this is slightly larger than the rest of the tower pieces. Be sure to keep this piece as it's rather important when assembling the tower upright. Now to change the assembly to the upright version, first pop off the tower cover, then push the keys out from the inside, then pull them all the way out from the outside. Then place the tower cover at the back of the tray. This helps keeps the tower more stable. If you don't put this piece in, it gets a little bit wobbly. Next, line up the slots on the side of the tower with the plus sign shapes holes in the tray, and insert the keys horizontally, locking this in place. Then enjoy your brand new collapsible dice tower.
And that is all there is to it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it if you haven't done so already. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. And until I see you next, stay crafty, my friends.